Okay, so a very good evening, everyone. I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, because it really depends on where you're zooming in from. And a warm welcome to all of you, as I mentioned, everyone from different places. My name is Jen, and I am actually zooming in from Nagaland, a beautiful state in northeast of India, but I'm actually originally from Singapore. And this evening, I want to share with you how my life has changed and how I'm able to build a business that is online that allows me to be all over around the world, but be able to travel and be able to have an income for my family. And I want to reach out to every one of you and just in the next maybe 45 minutes to be able to share very quickly my own experience online and hopefully, all right, also encourage you to get online with us as a community. So we are a community, it's not just me, all right. 3 years ago, we started this community with the idea of mind that we wanted to build financial independence. And we knew the best way is to leverage on trends. And so if you look at trends, we know that online is a great way to build businesses because you can build them 24 hours a day and you can build them all over the world. So what are we all talking about? As I mentioned, we are community, and I want to get started very quickly to share with you how you can also get your own online business going. And you know, you're not just going to be doing it alone, you're going to be doing it with a community. So I want to get started by sharing with you, this is our vision. The vision for us is to build financial independence. Whether you are a mom, whether you are a dad, whether you are a retiree, a young person, an old person, whether you are stay home or you're working, I believe every one of us should build some form of financial independence. And why this is important is because you never know whether if you're a stay-home mom, whether your husband will lose their job, whether your marriage will break down. You know, you never know whether a sickness will occur in the family. And for those of you who are retired or you're young, you don't know whether in the future career prospects will change. You know, now I know that there are a lot of AI, artificial intelligence, where most jobs are being eliminated. So I want to share for myself, a few years ago, I was actually a school teacher. And my husband, he was a real estate agent. And, you know, as a school teacher, I was not earning enough for my family. It was an iron rice bowl because as a teacher, I was working for the government. But you know what I was frustrated with was my husband is the agent. So every time when we come back home, I come back home at 6+ in the evening, I would not see my husband around because he would have to go out and he would have to work. So we wanted to start a family. We felt that this was not ideal for us. Every weekend he would be working and I would not be. And so we started our own business. And through that business, it was a traditional business, training real estate agents how to market their property online. Now, back then, we already knew the potential of online. And so we taught our real estate agents how to market their business so that they could get overseas customers rather than just having local customers. And it was a very successful training school that we started. We started it for about $20,000 US. Within 2 years, we made $1 million US in sales revenue. Unfortunately, you know, with traditional business, you never know when the economy will change. And for me, the economy changed and it completely affected my business. Within 2 months, I found myself from a 6-figure income dropping to zero sales revenue completely coming into my business. And that was when I started to panic, because if you've ever owned businesses, if you know what that feels like, you basically bear the expense of your whole company. So that's when I start to look outside of my business and I start to look at certain trends. And this evening, I want to share with you some of these trends that I participated in. Now, prior to that, I just want to share with you my family. And I you know, every one of us have a family, right, to brag about. This is my family. I want to share with you them. All right, I got 3 beautiful girls. They come in form of a pair of twins, and that's the top picture, and then a little girl there. So my twin girls, they are Annabelle and Isabel, and they are 9 years old. In the picture, they're only 2, but they're already 9, so time really flies. And that little girl right at the bottom, her name is Belle. So Annabelle, Isabel, Belle. And she's 5 years old. And I love all of them very much. I think as a mom, if you're a mom, you can feel the heart of what we go through. You know, we kind of want to spend time with them. We want to bond with them. We want to build close relationships with them. But we know in the future, the reality of life is we need finances. We want to give them the best in life. And that's what I as a parent want to do as well. So because of that, I became an entrepreneur, hoping that I could be able to balance these 2 things, have time with my family, but also have finances. So earlier on, I mentioned I was a school teacher, and then my husband was a real estate agent. And then slowly what we did was we transit to start our own business. It really was a leap of faith because we were working for people, you know, even though my husband was self-employed, this was our first venture out into a business. but because of the economy, things change, and I start to look at some trends. And some of the trends I discovered, I want to share with you. Now, one of the trends I discovered is actually called a home-based business. So if you are looking at starting your own home-based business, if today you are online and because you are actually excited with the prospects of starting an online business, you are actually in the right trend. So what you want to be doing, all right, is you want to participate in all of these trends because this is on something that you would be able to make money, you'll be able to build your business from home. Now, every 12 seconds, you will get a home-based business started. And in the industry of home-based business, this is worth 427 billion US dollars. On top of that, 70% of all home-based businesses actually go on to make succeed, in fact. So this is amazing because that means that every one of us have a very high potential of succeeding as we start our own home-based business. Now, home-based businesses average started for less than 5,000 US dollars. And I started my own home-based business for far less than that, all right? And 20% of home-based business go on to make between 100,000 US dollars to 500,000. Now, think about it this way. You work a 9-to-5 job. Some of us work OT, 9 to 9. But even then, we don't make 100,000 to 500,000 US dollars. And even if we do, probably we are traveling most of the time. We have little time for our family. And that's not what the lifestyle of what most of us want. You know, as much as we want money, we want it, plus we want the time. And no, I always say that money can be made back, but time we can't. Once we pass that time, we miss out on the children growing up. We would forever not be able to return to that. So if you started a home-based business, I always ask people, think about it this way. How do you get customers? Like every business, you need to find customers. So what I've discovered as one of the trends is that if you start a home-based business, most of the home-based business, they would actually be able to find, all right, their customers through social media. It's as simple as that. So if you wanted to start a home-based business, you just need to learn the skill of being able to get your customers from Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, WeChat, Snapchat, any of these social media platforms, and majority of the times they are free. You don't have to pay for the advertising. So I got excited about that. Another trend that I got excited about when I was coming out of my own traditional business is e-commerce. Now, e-commerce is part of a huge trend. Every one of us have started to spend online. You know, if you started to spend online, you know, you can put into the chat group, put a hands up so I know. But I've started to buy a lot of things online, like groceries, you know, even clothes, IT stuff, you know, my kids' items, because it's a lot cheaper, it's a lot more convenient. And therefore, e-commerce has become a huge market trend. You look at India, India is the second largest population in the world. In 2013, when I did my research, it was generating 12.6 billion online. And also at the same time, look at China's Alibaba, it grew in terms of the investments by 25 billion. And then US alone projected 294 billion US dollars in sales growth. All right, and that was in 2013. In 2016, the figures became 600 billion online. And there is only 7 billion of us in the world population today. So you can see we are spending way over the population size in the world. One other trend that I was very excited to see, that I look back and I thought to myself, this is going to be huge, was I stumbled upon a news. It was like a secret, because when I saw this, it was in 2013, about 6 years ago, when I saw this piece of news announced by Google. Everybody knows Google. In fact, 80% of us would search for things on Google. But Google in 2013 started a new company that is not in IT. You can see here the heading from Google. Google announces Kelly Co, a new company focused on health. Wow, when I saw this, I was shocked because I didn't know that health was going to be such a huge industry if it weren't for Google. So when I saw this, I knew that there must be a reason why Google is going into health. So I took all of this, I call it bullets, or all of these trends. And when my business was failing traditionally offline, I took my business online because I knew that was where people would be spending most of their money, and I wanted to be a part of that. And within a single year, I was able to generate 12 million US dollars of sales revenue online. And I never imagined this. I'm just a normal school teacher. I don't got any experience building any business online. So I took a part of these trends, and these trends really carried me like a huge wave. And I was able to expand my business into many countries. You can just see These listings was when I took a snapshot at 21 months after I had built my business. That is less than 2 years. Singapore, of course, because this is where I'm residing. Thailand, Macau, Cambodia, USA, Malaysia, UAE, China, Hong Kong, Ghana, Australia, Philippines, Ireland. And most of these countries here, I've never stepped into before in my life. You can see some of these countries, Russia, they are in a completely different time zone. I don't speak the languages of. They're not even in the Asia Pacific region. And a lot of these languages like Panama, Chile, Colombia, these countries, I have no idea the language of what they speak. But how is it I was able to expand my business so quickly in 21 months into a total of 47 countries? You might be asking me. Well, I always share that if you build your business online, the software can help you do all of this. It can automate it. Have you ever been on a website where you couldn't read the language of the website, but by a click of a button, you could change the entire website into a language that you could understand? And that was exactly what I did with my e-commerce website. I basically embedded a language translation that allowed any of my customers to come online and be able to click on a button and see the website in that language that they are familiar with. And so I was quickly able to build into multiple countries. I want to show you 2 invoices just from my back office. And I've got a customer here. Her name is Sarah. She's from the UK. So I ship my products all the way to her country. I've got another customer here. He's from New York. So I also ship there. And of course, when they're from the various countries, I don't expect them to pay in my local Singapore dollars. I expect them that they will pay in their local currency. So she paid in pounds and he paid in US dollars. Now from there, you know, I start to see the potential of online. I never imagined that 24 hours a day I can make money. When I'm with my kids, I could have orders coming in. When I'm at work, I could have orders coming in. And I did not have to worry about, you know, if I had a business like traditional business, I have to make sure that I am, you know, opening the shop, I have employees there. I found that with online business, I could be in a different time zone and my business was still running regardless of where I was or who I was with at that point in time. And that really got me excited. Now, some of you at this point in time, you might be asking yourself, because you have thought about building an online business for so long and you never got started because you're not sure what to sell. So I want to show you some trends of what you could possibly sell and participate in some of these trends. Now, if you look at the world, there are industries that are making a huge amount of money and they're called billion-dollar industries. So if you look here, some of these industries we already spend our money in. One of them is skincare. It is worth 262 billion US dollars. And then you've got energy drinks, which is about 9.8 billion. You've got weight management, which is 104 billion US dollars. And then health and wellness, which is what Google entered into, is worth 27.6 billion. Now you might be wondering, Jen, that doesn't sound like a lot compared to skincare and weight management. Well, I've not included in recent years China and India. If you include China and India, it is past $1 trillion US dollars in terms of sales already. So these are some of the billion-dollar industries that I start to discover were huge marketplaces that people around the world already spend a lot of money in. And I start to look at these places. So if you're looking at e-commerce, start to look at these industries. Now for me in particular, I wanted to get into an industry that I thought that I could make a difference in. And for me, that would be skincare, because all along I've got very bad acne skin. You look at my skin now, it's glowing. But I didn't start out this way. When I was 15, I have very bad acne skin. Later on, I'll show you a picture of that. And was always very self-conscious. I never liked to look at myself in the mirror. I never liked taking pictures. So I thought that if I could get into the skincare industry, it is worth $1 billion. It makes sense business-wise. But at the same time, I could make a difference. If the products work for me, I could also be able to make a business out of it. Now, I don't want to use any of the products that I have to stock up. I don't know whether any of you out there have ever done online businesses, but I started out doing kind of like selling a little bit of clothes, you know, because it's a woman thing to do, you know, women like clothes, I like clothes. I want to give an excuse to my husband that I can buy clothes, but actually I'm trying to make a business out of it. That's what I explained to him. But with clothes, I always found that I need to buy different colors, different size, different shape, you know, different designs. And in the end, I have a lot of stock. And a lot of these stocks I cannot change to profit because I always have some stock that is left behind, because depending on my customers, they will buy different colors, different designs. But every month I would have to stock up and buy new colors, designs, and sizes. So I told myself, when I go into an online business, I wouldn't want to be able to have to stock up because it's a lot of money, it's a lot of risk involved. So I look at how I can participate in these billion-dollar industries by finding a way to do a partnership and finding doctors and scientists that already have existing products, they're credible and they're well-known, and just find some form of partnership where I can market their products and get some percentage out of it. So I hope this is something that I would be able to build globally and large. And true enough, I looked into skincare. I found someone that I am so excited because he is a very well-known cosmetic surgeon from Beverly Hills. He is the cosmetic surgeon for a lot of Hollywood celebrities. This is him. You can see, he's been appearing in all of the TV channels in the US, including News, ABC, E! Entertainment. And he's the very first cosmetic surgeon to actually create a lifting look using stem cells, not by any form of cut of skin. Now, he went on to revolutionize this particular surgery by coming up with his own skincare range that uses not stem cells, but everything that stem cells produce, which is growth factors. Now, you might be wondering what growth factors are. Growth factors are nothing more than the language that your own cells use to communicate with each other when they're trying to repair or rejuvenate itself. Most of us, when we get a cut on our skin, you notice that it actually heals. And the actual thing that's happening is that your stem cells are releasing growth factors that communicate with the other cells around your skin to repair itself. Now, what Dr. Nathan Newman did that was so revolutionary is out of the 248 growth factors that our skin has, he is 278. In fact, he is the only doctor till today that was able to extract out 248 of that languages, and he put it into his skincare range that I found was so widely distributed and so widely featured in multiple international magazines like Vogue, Shape, Camberry Weekly. I saw them in all of these magazines and I got excited, and I also knew that the technology behind it was so different because a lot of what we know is a symptom repair. We get wrinkles, we get a wrinkle cream. We've got pigmentation, we get pigment cream. We've got oily skin, combination skin, and dry skin, and we use a combination of all of these different skin cares, and it's a lot of products that we have to use. But what Dr. Nathan Newman does is he focuses only on repairing the cell. So every skin problem, every skin type, whether male or female, young or old, just uses the language that is found in all of his range, which is called growth factors, and they put it on their skin, and their skin will naturally heal itself using the languages that they originally already have. So I found this to be amazing. I tried it myself. As I mentioned, this is my skin on the left-hand side of the picture, all right, 9 years ago, not that long time ago. And this is my husband, a real estate agent, as I mentioned. And the picture on the right is, of course, myself 3 years ago. And of course, as you can see me in the camera, this is me currently today. So 9 years later, I found that this is something that I was able to build my business around. One other industry that I looked into that I wanted to build into, which is a billion-dollar industry, is weight. Many of us struggle with weight. Many of us want to be able to lose some, we want to get into a better shape. We want to be fit, but it's not about just dieting. It's about really having a balanced lifestyle and eating right. So I was looking into this particular industry when I stumbled upon this particular guy called Mark McDonald. And Mark McDonald was being featured in CNN. You can see the top right-hand corner on Dr. Oz. He was invited to Singapore and to be interviewed in our own radio channel, which is a news channel called 938 Live. And the reason why he's so well featured, because like Dr. Nathan Newman, Mark McDonald is a well-established, renowned fitness and nutrition expert for celebrities as well as athletes. So a lot of people want to get onto his program and also use his products. So I managed to find some form of partnership with him. I'm in close contact with him. And he's such an amazing person that he's changing the minds of people, and he's telling people that whatever you go into, you must be able to also bring it to your family. Your children must be able to eat what you're eating. They must be able to take what you are consuming, and the whole lifestyle, not just you. So it's not a diet thing. It's a balanced weight management lifestyle era. So I got into that and I was able to make into these industries very huge. Now, one last other industry I want to share with you that I look at for my family's health is the industry that Google went into, which is wellness. And my parents are in their 70s. They are part of the aging population. and I wanted them to lead a healthy lifestyle and be able to grow old in health, because my grandma suffered from arthritis, and I saw her going through her last year very painfully, you know, having aches and pains, you know, and I saw how her life deteriorated as a result. And I told myself, if I can build an online business that could make an impact on the wellness and, you know, just change the lifestyle of the older generation, be able to age nicely and be able to age healthily, why not? Most people want that kind of quality of life. So I came across this person. I was reading this book. My background is in biology, so I love science very much. And I was reading this book by Christian DuPaul called Cracking the Stem Cell Code. And he is in the industry of stem cells. He wrote this book, and in fact, last year he was featured in a Malaysian newspaper in the Harian Metro, and also in the Chinese newspaper in Malaysia. And he's got his own product range, and he talked about really getting the body to increase the stem cell production. So his research has been ongoing for more than 20 years, and I was able to find some form of partnership with him. So ideally, I start to look at finding partnerships because I do not want to have to produce my own products when I don't have any form of science credibility that people want to buy my products, but I just want to leverage in the industry. And another name that I wanted to be able to leverage on is this person called Dr. Vincent Giampapa. I first watched him on Discovery Channel, and he talked about how you can reverse the process of aging by looking at improving your stem cells. And his research allowed him to be nominated 2 times for a Nobel Prize. He is a consultant of the US Space Shuttle, the NASA. And today, all right, he has a range that is worldwide. He bases his science on a key compound called resveratrol. Now, resveratrol is a compound you would normally find in most natural foods that we consume, including strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, grapes, you know, acai berries, as well as peanuts. And in 2014, I discovered a newspaper cutting on resveratrol and how it is able to have multiple benefits when it's consumed in the body. So what are these benefits? Well, nature made it that in the skin of the grapes, you've got resveratrol because it prevents, when you peel off the skin, and you notice when you cut an apple, it's the same thing, it starts to oxidize, it turns brown. So it's the same thing for our body cells. If we do not have the covering of resveratrol, what happens is our cells, our body cells, go through this process called oxidation. And what oxidation does is it damages our cells and it causes us to grow old faster. So resveratrol, when it's consumed, it goes into our cells, it protects our cells from these damages, and it then prevents a lot of these aging problems like cardioprotective. You know, it protects against cardio diseases. It extends your life. It prevents cancer. It helps against diabetes. It prevents the degeneration of your neurons that leads to Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, dementia, and it helps keep in your optimal weight. Now, for me, when I discovered this, I actually shared this with my closest loved one, which is my mom. She was at that point in time having arthritis. Same with my grandma. And it was very sad for me to see her go through this because my grandma had the same problem. And so what I did was I actually introduced her to using, all right, resveratrol. So when she started consuming it, she was actually taking drugs and medicines that were prescribed from a doctor in a hospital in Singapore. And it was steroids. And I know steroids in the long term is very bad for health. So I wanted to get my mom off steroids. So my mom consumed resveratrol, and within about a 6-month period, I brought her back to see the same doctors, and the doctors told her, you don't have to be on any more of these arthritis drugs. And it's been 6 years now, my mom is off all of these drugs, and she doesn't have any more of these swellings, aches, and pains. You know, so I love the fact that science and technology is always advancing, and I want to be a part of this technology. I want to be a part of this business as well. All right. Now, I want to show you something that's very, very personal. So in the next slide, you know, just it's from me to you. I want to be able to share this with you because it's something that we do in the community. Is always about sharing and paying it forward. Now, a couple of years back when I started my online business, I did not imagine that I'll be able to build the business around the world in about 50 to 60 countries in a short span of 6 years. And I want to show you what I made in terms of profit. Earlier on, you saw my sales revenue, and that's huge because that represents the sale of all of the products and all of the business that I've created. but I did not minus out my expenses. So I want to show you what I made in terms of profit. And this is what I take home that I can use for my family. Now, when you build an online business, you will have an online wallet that you can use. It's very accessible. You can build it. You can transfer the money into a local bank account wherever you're in. You can transfer it into an overseas bank account, so it's convenient for you. Or you can always choose to leave it online where you can start to use it to buy stuff online as well. I chose to transfer it out into my local bank account so that I can use it for my family expenses. Now, when I started my business, all right, you can see every week I'm able to generate income. So how much more, that they give me the option to stay at home. You can see the dates here: 16 April 2015, 23rd of April, 30th of April, weekly. This is my income. 7th of May, 19th of May. And every week, this is in US dollars, 24,000, 14,000. Every week, I was getting more than 10,000 US dollars. And I was transferring out into my local bank account. As I mentioned, it's called EFT, which is electronic fund transfer. Now, when I saw this, just to be very, very frank about my salary when I was in teaching, it was maybe about 20,000 US dollars in a year. And so as a normal teacher, I never imagined that I could build a business that was what I would generate in a year, being able to generate online in a week. And having the time and the option to stay with my kids at home and see them grow up, bring them around the world, and not just that, be able to impact more women around the world and more lives around the world to be able to also start to build their own online business. And so 3 years ago, as a friends, we were discussing, some of us, we've been building our online businesses, and we said, it's time for us to pay it forward. It's time for us to empower more women to become financially independent. Now, if you're a man out there, it's also important for you to be financially independent. Build a side income, because you never know, as you get older, you can be easily replaced in your job. For me in particular, I wanted to build a side income because I saw some of my girlfriends go through broken marriages, and they were stay-at-home moms. And when they lost their marriage, they found themselves in a place where they had stopped working for more than 10 years. And to pick up the pieces and the confidence was so difficult that I start to see that it is important for every one of us to have some form of financial independence. Every one of us have worked before. We've got skill sets, we've got experience. So why not use these skill sets and experience to start to learn how we can do this so that our family can benefit? So I want to ask you a question, all right? And I believe that your answer would be yes, because at the end of the day, what's there to lose? If you start to build today, you make a difference in your family's life. If you don't, nothing will change in your life. And I want to just share with you the community, how it's, just really just been able to grow and explode, because every one of us have a same vision. We want to empower, all right, more people to become what we call homepreneurs. So if you are somebody that you find that you value family and you want to be able to build a business, then we call you a homepreneur, because we're building our business around our families. And that's why entrepreneurship comes second, home comes first. And also, of course, at the same time, we want to be able to enjoy families. We want to be able to exercise, because we believe that's part of the lifestyle. So wherever you are zooming in from, all right, find the community that, that we are located in that place physically, that to be able to come and exercise with us, have cooking workshops, have family nights, and one of the things that we want to do at every community we build into, at every society, we want to be able to, whatever income we make, to be able to pay it forward, to give it back into the society. I think a lot of us, when we get our families taken care of, we want to be able to do that as well. So this is a project we did a couple of years back. We built a school in Myanmar, and we were able to fund most of these kids for 1 year of education. So this is something that we really enjoy being able to do. And of course, one of the things, the joys of being able to travel the world with family and friends. Once a year, we organize a trip and we go to different places. We've been to Alaska, the Mediterranean cruise. This was a place that we went to in Italy, Pompeii, and we bring our families. And the thing about having a business online, you could be anywhere in the world and your business will still run as long as you have Wi-Fi. So here I am in Nagaland, in Northeast. I'm sure some of you who are Indians, you've never ever been to Naga, and yet here I am, a Singaporean, and I'm here in Nagaland. So this is beautiful that I'm able to travel the world and I'm able to still touch base with the community, and it's almost like you're in my living room. So this is something that I enjoy. But I want to tell you, time is not outside. every one of us have our own priorities. And I know a lot of us, we are concerned, we're afraid, we don't have the courage, or rather we don't have the confidence to get started, because a lot of us, we say to ourselves, Jen, I don't have any social media marketing skills. I'm not even on Facebook. I'm not IT savvy. I've stopped working for more than 10 years. I'm a stay-home mom. I'm not sure if I can get going. Some of you might be working moms. You say, I don't have the time. Jen, as much as I want to build an online business, this idea has been in my mind for so long. But every time I come back home, I've got to cook for my kids. I got to tutor them. I have no time. I want to just let you know something. If you're looking for confidence and you've never built any sort of business before, you will never find it here, because confidence comes only with experience. So toss that out of the window. You're not going to find confidence. Look only for courage. Do you have the courage to believe you can change the current circumstance you're in, and the courage to start to believe that you can build a better future for your family? And for those of you who are stay-home moms and you tell me, I don't have any experience, I'm not sure how to go about doing it, I want to let you know that with that courage, you are going to be able to build skill sets. We're going to be able to train you, and we're going to be able to put you through a mentorship. For those of you who are working and you tell me, Jen, I don't have the time. I don't have the time to be able to do that. I want to tell you that it's not true. That's a lie that we put in our minds that is stopping us from wanting to build something better for our family. I want to ask you, do you have pockets of time, 1 to 2 hours a day, just before your kids go to school, while you're getting ready to get to work? Or maybe you are traveling and commuting to and fro from work, that maybe half an hour. Do you have that half an hour? Or maybe on the weekends when you're not working and you're spending most of your time waiting for your kids in an enrichment class, or maybe what you're doing is watching Korean drama serial or Hong Kong drama serial or TV. Can you take that 1 to 2 hours and replace it? And those are your pockets of time, and start to build something within your control for a better future in your family. If this is something that you can do, then one of the things that we want to help you as a first-time homepreneur is to give you skills. Now, mindset will take time. If you've never built a business before, it takes you some time to get through that process of knowing nobody's going to come knocking your door and say, look, it's 10 o'clock, get to work. Nobody's going to do that. Nobody's going to tell you when you can go and leave, because you are building for your family. So the greatest motivation would be what you want to see in your future. And that's going to be the driving force. So that would take some time for mindset to change, but skill sets can be transferred immediately. And skill set, like learning to ride a bicycle, you will never forget that skill set. So we want to empower women and men, and whoever wants the same vision of building a home business online to get skill sets. So we'll teach you how to set your website out, how to do programming, the design, how to get the language translation so you can target customers from around the world, how you can do multiple currency acceptance on your website so you don't have to collect foreign currency, how you can find partnership with different doctors around the world globally in different billion-dollar industries so you don't have to stock up or buy inventory. You just create partnerships with them and then create credibility using their background, and then how you can find partnerships so that you can ship around the world using a platform that does drop shipping. Now, drop shipping means that you don't buy products for hand and then stock it up and then wait for a sale and then sell it out. And then you've got these products that are left behind, like what I did with my clothes. Not any of that. We do a drop shipping method that when a customer comes onto your website that you've built and they want to buy a product, they look at whatever you are marketing, they then pay for the product, they put their shipping address down, they pay for the shipment, and what the third-party courier does is they take that product and then they move it from the doctor right to the doorstep of your customer, and then you get paid the difference and the profit right into your online wallet. It's as simple as that. And that's why we've got so many working moms that in the office hours, they've got orders coming in and orders going out in spite of the fact that they are at work in their careers, to the point that they've been able to build their business, that they gave them some of the options to eventually leave their job. So it's your choice. Where do you want to build this business to? And then of course, licensing is important. If you build any business, you need to have license to ship your products into that country. If you don't have license, you could get fined from the government. You could get even imprisonment in jail. So you could get your products confiscated. So what we got the doctors to do is to create the license. And because we've got so many religions around the world, we got them to do all of the halal certifications, the vegan or the vegetarian, certifications so that it is applicable to any customers around the world that will be buying products from your own web store. Now, one other thing that we want to do is make the business as mobile for every one of us as possible. So I'm not always with my laptop. Sometimes it's inconvenient for me. What I do is just I bring my mobile phone around, and then what I can do is I can start onto my mobile app and immediately I have access to my business. Right now I'm in there in the Nagaland, and I've got a friend, and I was talking to him, and I said, you know, do the young people here have access to laptops and things like that and handphones? And he said, yes. In fact, most of the young people here, the number of handphones that they have in Nagaland is probably more than the number of toilets. So that is very interesting, because that means that they could build their business anywhere, all right, and maybe might have difficulty even finding the toilet, but they can build their business. So that's the convenience of what we want. Now, I believe that all of this, all right, it's easy to set up. And you could easily set all of this up, but it will not determine success in any sort of business that we get going. And one of the things that I really believe in is, number one, I believe in community. But more so than community, I believe in mentorship. As a mom, I always look at myself, and when I want my kids to be able to do well in sports, I get them a coach. When I want them to do well in academics, I get them a tutor. So it's the same. When we start out in our own online business, what we discovered is that a mentor is able to determine whether we will be successful or we will be not successful in anything that we get going. So one of the things that we really believe in this community is mentorship. And mentorship has to be ongoing, is to train you the skills, is to give you feedback, and a personal mentor would be the one that will follow you through in your journey. So eventually will teach you how you can expand your business around the world. Now, I just want to summarize of what I talk about. The mentorship is really like a mom for the very first time, or a dad for the very first time, allowing the baby to start from zero without any skill sets, without any mindset, like a baby. If you've never started any online business, you always had this idea of wanting to do it, but you never felt confident because you didn't know who or what or where to do it, then one of the things you want to do is, like a baby, teach you skill sets, handhold you like a parent, and by the end of that 1 year, be able to walk out your journey. So the Homepreneur Guidance is a program that we created as a community, all right, to empower more women and more men to be able to build online businesses from home. So there will be an e-commerce website that will teach you how to set up, on top of what I just summarized earlier on, a mobile app that gets you going, some samples that the doctors want to provide. There's no inventory required, so you don't buy any products ahead to buy and then sell. You don't have any of that. You just get some doctors sampling, all right? And then there's that 1 year mentorship, which really is the crux of everything that will help you to succeed. So we teach you how to get customers from the internet, all right, for free. We're not going to use any of the advertising, paid advertising. We'll teach you how to get your customers from not just the internet, but from Twitter, from Facebook, from forums, which are all social media marketing. We'll teach you how to do value marketing where customers feel that value has been added and they automatically want to purchase. We'll teach you how you automate your business, which to me is the most important thing, all right? The more important skill is really to build wealth. And I remember in the definition by Robert Kiyosaki says that wealth is the number of days you can survive without having to work. So really, truly, you know, it's not just getting a business going, it's really getting to a point where your business is automated. And with online, that is definitely possible because of the 24 hours, all right? You are able to build your business around the world, and you have income coming in when you're asleep, you have income coming in when you're kids or when you're at work, all right? So this is where I want to be able to teach you how to build wealth. Whereas one of the things that I talk about is community, and I feel that community acts as two things. It acts as a faith system. It also acts as a support system. So if you are a stay-at-home mom and you've never built any sort of business online before, you might be worried. You might say, I'm a stay-at-home mom, I don't have skill sets, you know, I don't know whether I'm able to do it. If you're a working mom, you say, I don't have the time, but you see another working mom that has been able to build an online business successfully, then you start to see the possibility. So first and foremost, I want to bring on a stay-home mom, all right? And, you know, I've had the privilege of working very closely with her. We've traveled to different places, different countries, you know, and I just wanted her to just share a little bit about her background and her story. So just give me a moment while I stop the share, and I'm going to bring her online and let her just share a little bit about her own experience and how she's been able to build her business for all of you who are stay-home moms and you're concerned about whether you don't have the skill set. Hi, Sung Fong.
Hi, Jen. So I'm currently a stay-home mom. I have two beautiful girls. They have 8 years old and 9 years old. So I used to be a working mom since because I'm so glad that I have a mother-in-law who helped me to look after my two beautiful girls. So things doesn't go very smoothly when they come to 7 years old, and all of a sudden this my mother-in-law falls sick. So happened to be I need to stop work immediately. So as you know that if you stop work immediately, your income will get cut into half, because you're going to rely on husband to do the for earning for your income or your salary, right? So while I'm handle for these two young girls, so after sending to the school, you will actually look up for opportunity that how can you maximize your times, or probably you can look up for some extra incomes to help for your family as well. And I'm so glad that I found this global platform, which is these Mommy Circles. And within a 2 years time, all right, I managed to build a business for more than 10 countries without traveling to all these countries. So it's just like stay-home moms, every one of us are on busy schedule. So we know that how much time that we are able to build for this business. So to be consistently, I will be start off with at least minimally 2 hours a day to build this business. So after, like example, you can, after putting your kids to the bed, and these are the times that you can start building your business through the social media. As simple as that. This is my journey.
I love that. Thank you so much, Sopong. You just really the nuggets of an experienced stay-home mom. You know, just think about it. Like when you put your kids to sleep, you've always got that pockets of 1 or 2 hours. You know, and I love how Sopong shared about in just 2 years as a stay-home mom, she was able to build her business into 10 countries. I don't think we can do that if we were running a traditional business, right, Sopong? But yeah, online, it's possible. So congratulations, Sopong. So proud of you as a stay-home mom being able to do that for your girls. And I'm sure, you know, you've got a lot more time with them, and, you know, you are able to do a lot more things as a passion, whatever you're passionate about, be able to bake a little bit more for them as well.
Yes, they keep asking for baking.
Yeah. Thank you, Sopong. All right. I know that there are also some working moms in our midst, and, you know, as a community, we always want to share from an angle where you can start to see yourself, if you're working mom, can I really do this? But this lady I want to bring up is also somebody that I also really admire very much, because she's been a single mom for many years of her life. You know, so not only is she a working mom, she's a working mom who is a single mom. And that is even, I would say, double, triple harder than the rest of us who are just working moms, because you are both mom, dad, and bringing the bread in, and plus a parent. So I want her to share how she's been able to build her business online. All right, so let me just welcome her. Hi, Rachel.
All right. Hi, my name is Rachel from Singapore. I am a real estate agent for 16 years. So if you want me to share, actually my life has to have 3 different chapters. Yeah. So the first chapter was, of course, I got married and then have 2 children, like many other women. And I stayed at home and take care of them for about, 10 years. And then I found out that my marriage was on the rock. So I had no choice, that I had to come out and work. Of course, I have 2 choices. I have to either go back to the workforce like 9 to 5, but that will not make me, able to raise my 2 children up. So I decided to go into real estate. Now, without any sales experience, without any experience at all, I start from scratch. So I stayed in the industry for 16 to 17 years. And right now, my children are grown up. So, and in fact, because 2 years ago, the real estate has come to a stagnant industry. So I thought I need to look for something else to do. And I started looking, and I was seated in a venue in Singapore, like a workshop like this. And I think Jen presented this, and my whole mind was blown away by this whole concept, because I do not need a location to work on this, and it's flexible hours. And then on top of that, I can expand my business to so many different countries, unlike selling property can only sell in Singapore. So I'm glad that I learned from a lot of mentors in these Mommy Circles, Jen, Rebecca, Christine, and all these. And I am able to expand my business to different countries. And also now I'm fighting for my free trip next year. Okay.
All right. So thank you so much, Rachel. So I mean, if Rachel can able to take time and be able to just spend, like the consistent 1 or 2 hours, that pockets of time, and I think one of the things that she, as she shared, that really caught me, and something that I also feel the same way is that, I can just do it anywhere in the world. And I could be traveling with my family and I could still be building my business online. And this is something that, you can start out first small. A lot of us started out, if we are working, we started out building our business online part-time. And then we just, until it got to a point where we felt that our business was generating enough income for us. And then we made that choice of whether to go full-time building our online business, or we decided that, we wanted dual income. So it really is your choice, but then at least you got something going that you could have to fall back on. And I remember one of the moms also sharing before that really at that point in time, because she had started building an online business, during that point when her mom was not well, she could actually take that time off, quit her job, even though because her boss was starting to make so much noise because she was taking leave and things like that. And she could quit her job at the point and still stay home with her mom for a certain period until her mom got better, but be able to have that income coming in through an online business already. And then later on, when she wanted to go back to her career and continue building, she could do that. So really it's about options and it's about choices. And thank you so much, Rachel. So I just want to leave you, all right, with one last, sharing, or rather it's a quote, all right, from a lady that I admire very much. And if you can see this, if you could just put a thumbs up into the chat group, it's a quote from a lady that I admire very much. And I want to leave this with you because I want to inspire you to start to look at your life differently, because we only have one chance to live it well. And everyone is looking at us, our children, our family, our loved ones, and they're cheering us on, and we are a role model for our kids. If we show them that, we cannot change our future, we are subject to whatever we're going through, when we go to our job and we complain about bosses, but then we're not taking any form of action in our own lives to make a difference. We role model for our kids that nothing is possible, nothing can be done about it. But there's so many women in the community that have made a change, and we talk about this. So I want to just inspire you to create the highest, grandest vision for your life, whatever that vision could be. It could be maybe having more income so that you could stay at home with your family. It could be having more income so you can start contributing to the society, to giving to the volunteers. It could be having more income so that you can retire peacefully without having to feel that you need to take money from your own children. It could be various things, all right? Create that vision for yourself and then let every step move you in that direction. And, don't worry about these steps. If you are concerned, you say, I'm not sure about the steps, Jen, let this 1-year mentorship and let the community, all right, that which you are coming into be the steps that will help you to move your business forward. So when you come into this community, one of the things that we'll do is you will not just be guided by a personal mentor that will walk through personally with you the journey. You will have 1 year of mentorship of skill sets, social media marketing skill sets that you will pick up, that you can use for any form of your own online business. Of course, we will start you off on the easiest platform that we feel do not require products, and it's just finding partnership with the doctors, all right? And then at the same time, all right, one of the things that you will be done is you will get into a community that will act as a support system for you, that every time you feel like you're not going to be able to make it, you're not going to be doing it, you're going to give up, the community is going to remind you that it's possible. You see someone else, you hear another person succeeding, and you remind yourself that if that person can do it, so can you. So thank you everyone for joining me this evening. I really enjoyed spending this time with you. I want to thank all of the women for sharing in the community as well. And I look forward to seeing you, all right, on our online platform and in our community. Thank you everyone, and God bless all of you all.